Okay. Right, okay, we're recording now. So hello, my name is Tim Randell from Links Magazines, more specifically at the moment from Okie Links, because we're in Okehampton at the moment, and we're talking to the Okehampton Coronavirus Support Group. And I've got two of their key members online at the moment, and we may have some more joining us, in which case we'll introduce them if they come on board. But for now, we've got Brian and Anne. So hello, Brian and Anne.
Hello, folks.
Hello. I'm Brian, and that's Anne.
Yeah, no, yeah, right. That wasn't so difficult, was it? Right. Okay. So let's crack on then. So first of all, we're going to talk about. First of all, I'm going to say straight away, you guys are really active at the moment. We're in our third lockdown. You're available and as busy as ever. And if people need you, then you're available. Let's get that out on the table straight away. That's correct.
Very correct, yes.
Now,
Very correct, yes.
Brian or Anne, whichever you want to tussle with this.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Tell us what the Okehampton Coronavirus Support Group offers and does.
We offer quite a few things, actually. We started off doing prescriptions and shopping and phone buddying, and we still do all of those to a certain extent. The prescription pickups have gone down, but as people have got more online, I think, and deliveries so they can get the delivery services. But we will help out in any way we can. We do food via the community kitchen in there, so we support that. One of our members is the community kitchen organizer, so we send out.
Is that Rebecca?
That's Rebecca. Yeah, we sent out. She does lots of soups and salads, and depending on what basic ingredients she's got, really, she decides, and then she'll make out things, and that's been really successful, especially with some of the people living in more sheltered accommodation where they didn't have their sort of support mechanism went. They could get there, and she got the stuff out to them really quickly. So that was great. So yeah, we're still there. We're still busy. Not as busy as the first lockdown because we've obviously got a little bit more flexibility, but we're there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're about to be joined by Deborah Travers. Hello, Deborah.
Hello.
Can you hear us? Hello. How are you? I'm Tim. Deborah, we have started recording, so yeah, just to let you know, so just in case you wanted to say something that inappropriate, which I'm sure you wouldn't. I'm waffling. Right, Anne was just describing what you do. So Anne, I got from that you prescriptions and food, and we'll talk a little bit about the community kitchen thing in a minute. What else does the group offer then? So food, prescriptions, what else?
Got a helpline.
Oh, the helpline.
Phone helpline. That's the main way people contact us and ask directly for help, and also through our Facebook pages, which we set up right at the beginning. And that phone line is staffed 5.5 days a week.
Okay.
Sometimes 7 when she forgets to turn it off, and we will respond to what people's needs. Signpost them to other services because we can't do everything. But
yes,
just confidence.
So Brian, why don't we just take the opportunity to give that number out right now? We'll do it at the end as well.
I should give that out. I had it mapped in a minute because I can't remember off the top of my head. So it's 07707 565 612.
Okay, one more time.
07707 565 612. I've just memorised it for the first time.
Well done. And I would ring that if I needed some kind of help. It doesn't matter what help at this stage. It's a helpline to either you guys will either help or you'll point me in the direction of someone who can help me with that. So give me an example of the kind of maybe top 5 things that people ring that number for.
Sometimes shopping. It's just asking if it's requests for shopping, requests for pick up pharmaceuticals from either the pharmacies. And in the early days, we had the Lions helping us pick those up and delivering because there were so many requests. They volunteered to do that, which is great.
Right.
In the first lockdown. Are sometimes just we signpost them to other agencies. Sometimes they want transport to get to somewhere. We point the idea of the bringing the community transport group, And I don't answer the phone myself, but Deborah's done it in the past, haven't you, Deborah? What sort of?
Yeah.
So Deborah, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't manned the phone this lockdown, but certainly during the first lockdown, we were on a rolling rota. I think there was about 5 of us that did it, and we did it 7 days a week then. And we were just getting all kinds of inquiries. And usually whoever had the phone was the one that actually addressed most of those, apart from the shopping and the prescriptions. I mean, my husband went out and helped an elderly gentleman get his tyre blown up on his mobility scooter, and it was just all manner of inquiries that all these people just came out of the woodwork because they'd got this telephone number because they were distributed all over town, and so many elderly people that really just didn't have anyone to help at all. So we were just doing all kinds of things. Obviously we were taking meals out to vulnerable people before the community kitchen really got off the ground. Pretty much everything that anybody had a want, they would ring us, and we would think, oh right, how are we going to deal with this one then? Yeah, it was very much action on the ground immediately.
What we did, we put a request out on our Facebook page, and the amazing community just responded and offered help, which is great.
So let's learn a little bit about that. So how many people have you helped so far?
Oh God.
Keep records. But we know we do keep the record. We've got over 300. In the early days, it was over 300 the first lockdown. Since then, the numbers have changed. A lot of people have found their own support. Yes. Families contacted us from, say, London, because they have elderly relatives here, and they want us to do things for them. Now they've found means to support them locally, and getting food deliveries from the supermarket, etc. So it's the demand isn't as high. We've probably helped over 500 people in Okehampton.
Easily.
But what I found was interesting, just in the preamble, well, when Brian and I were talking, was that you were really quick off the mark, weren't you, with this? You launched in when? When was it? March, was it?
Beginning of March the 13th.
Yeah, before lockdown. Rebecca
very
Green
quick.
Again. She asked us individuals she knew, because I never knew Deborah before. She asked individuals that she knew could make a difference, and so we got a team together. There's primarily 9 of us meet once a week on Zoom, and we have 2 or 3 others who just do an awful lot in the community, but don't want to get involved in administration. So, which is great. That's what we need. And somehow I've ended up in the fundraising role, getting money in. And it's been amazing getting money off people and offers of more, because of seeing the difference we make. We've got one of our members does work among the schools, knew of the vulnerable families there, so we targeted some of our activities towards them in the lockdowns. We produced a number of activity packs aimed at a lot of children, but some for the more elderly people. So we did crochet packs, we did art packs for the children. As I was saying to you earlier, we united with the Okehampton United Charities and paying for a educational pack for children that needed those at home during the first lockdown. We did gardening packs to keep kids active and grow their own cress and lettuce and things, and we're going to do that again at Easter. They don't know it yet, but it's going out again. And we've done an awful lot of that sort of thing, and we're just currently making a very cheap thing, clothes peg dolls. Old-fashioned stuff, but you can give them fun just doing it. So it's also relieving the pressure on mums and dads having to do the homeschooling. So,
I mean, one of the things as well, I think you mentioned to me again before we started recording this. So you've helped in excess of 300, possibly 500 people since you launched. But in terms of your volunteer network, I think at its height, you had about 200 people. Is that right? Helping?
200 on the books. We did drop it down by vetting in terms of have they got DBS, did we know where they live, would they give us their mobile numbers. It's all very volunteering on Facebook. We've got to know something about you to protect the people.
Absolutely.
And in the end, you get the band of about 50 with who we knew were DBS checked or we knew of them. So it's we had to be very careful, because as a support group, we didn't have to go through the process of checks and everything else, but with our backgrounds, we knew it was definitely
That
necessary.
you'd want to,
so,
yeah. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. I've spoken to a couple of community groups since we started these lockdown interviews, and I think by far you were the quickest off the mark. I think probably, but you know, it is a joy, isn't it, that so many people will come forward to help in something like this. I mean, I know we can throw away phrases like, you know, the Dunkirk spirit and all that, but it's true, isn't it, that, you know, when a small community is faced with an issue like this, I know it's an international problem, but a small community like Okehampton gets hit by this, that so many people will step forward and offer, you know, help and or money or whatever.
Yeah, it's been tremendous.
Anne.
Go on.
We've also found that working with our other agencies as well has been really successful. We've worked with Splits, and we've worked with Room 13 for the youngsters and things like that, and it's been really very successful. What we found to do, and again, you can, you know, members know who to get hold of to signpost people to different agencies to help really more. So it's been really useful in that respect. Well, I think anyway.
Now, of course, you're still live. People can phone you, people can get in touch, etc. We've established that. But just something you hit upon there, Brian, and any one of you answer this question. Clearly, you need money. You need boots on the ground. It sounds like you've got that. But do you want more volunteers? Do you need more money, more finance?
Nice. Well, we do well with our finances and we're very frugal, and it's all accountable. It's all held in the Okehampton Hamlets Parish Council bank account. Well, Anne and I pay the money for things, and then we make a claim, and my clerk will not give me money unless it's 100% correct. So it's all accountable. Being a former vice chair of a police authority, I know how you've got to be squeaky clean. And
do you need more donations though?
We'd love more donations.
Yeah.
We can have more donations.
So if there's a purpose to this video, it is about telling people that you're still live and that they can call the helpline and you're there to help. But the other part of this video really is to say, look, we would welcome more donations.
We would. We do have a PayPal account, which I can't remember the information on off the top of my head.
That's all right.
But I do have the bank account details for the Hamlets.
but I suppose if I was sat here watching this now and I wanted to donate, would I ring the helpline and find out that way?
That'd be great.
That's the best way.
Okay.
We do take cash as well, but you know, rather go through a bank account. It's accountable for then, and we draw on those resources. We do have currently over £1,000 in the bank, but some of that's allocated because we've been given specific grants by, say, Western Power and Devon Communities Foundation to support people with food poverty and a little bit of fuel poverty as well. So we've received monies from Devon County Council, West Devon, the Okehampton Hamlets Parish Council, which can only go on things that help the whole community, not individuals. That last one. The Rotary Club has been absolutely brilliant. The local faith group Inspiration Church has given us money and offered more. Dartmoor National Park have given us money and offered more. So you know, what we try and do with free food donations is to create something that doesn't cost a lot and it goes out. Even Live West, we've been supporting some of their tenants. They've given us money. It's 3 times they've given us money, and they've been very happy with what we've done. So
that's fabulous. That's really good.
Yeah. Money and people are 2 things that can make a difference. You know, you don't need a lot of money to make a big difference. You know?
And if anyone wants to put themselves forward to volunteer, subject to the required checks, they can.
Yeah, of course they can. Yeah, because circumstances have changed.
Geographically, how far afield do you go?
We have no boundaries.
Okay.
we primarily we support people in Okehampton, Hamlets, Stamford Courtney, South Seal. We support people in Southton as well. And when we did the gardening packs, I ended up in Western Cornwall giving out some of those. We'll get them to collect them next time. But
Right.
yes, it's we don't have a geographical boundary as
No.
such.
Okay.
And we've had requests from Howell and Hatherley. Hatherley had their own group as well. And I have been in contact with people in Belstone when they first set up to advise them or just chat to them and see what they're doing. And I recently offered more support to them if they needed it. Because I had the
Right.
field poverty money that I could give it out anywhere in the county. And I'd rather give it out than give it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because all the money we do collect will go back otherwise.
All right. Is there anything more we need to say on this video? Clearly, when we post this video, we'll put the helpline on the various articles that come out of this video. But is there anything else? I mean, Deborah or Anne or Brian, is there anything else you want to add that we've missed that we haven't covered?
I would say, oh, sorry, go ahead, Anne.
I was thinking about phone buddies.
Mm.
We've offered that, and that was very successful, wasn't it, to start with? And I think some of that's still going on in people.
Okay.
So I'm wondering
is that simply someone calling you to have a chat? Is it as simple as that?
Well, what we tend to do is we tend to link or sort of get them into contact with one of our volunteers who's willing to do it, and they'll phone up when and however the two of them agree, really, sort of mutually agreed times and frequency. So
what a lovely idea.
Very successful, because I mean it has affected people's mental health.
Oh yes.
And I think definitely, I mean, this time I think it's harder because at last lockdown we had we had lovely weather and spring and everything, but now it's just grey and dismal most of the time. So people are going to be a little bit more down than they were to start with.
So the phone buddies, I think that's excellent. Okay, and Deborah, you wanted to say something, I think?
Well, actually, I was going to touch on the phone buddy thingy because that was very successful. And I think also perhaps that's why we haven't had quite as much demand in this lockdown, is that we set people up to help each other. So they weren't ringing the helpline as much, because in the early days, if you had the phone, you got nothing done at all day when you had the phone. You were constantly on the phone.
Right.
As soon as you'd managed to sort something out, then another one would happen. So really, it's just that the message really is that we are still here. And if you are, if you're shopping buddy, because we also set up shopping buddies so that the same person wasn't ringing every week to ask for someone to go and get their shopping. We put them in touch with volunteers that would do it on a regular basis.
Yes.
But if you're at home and your little social network has fallen down and you need help, I would just say, we are still here. Pick the phone up and we will do what we can to help.
Brilliant. Okay, that's lovely. I'm just going to shout out the phone number again, shall I? It's 077 07 565 612. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, look, I mean, if we've covered everything, that's great. I think the main purpose
we've still got future plans that we can talk about.
Right. Okay, Brian, please do.
We are thinking of forming a CIO, a charitable incorporated organisation.
Right.
So we're a charity in our own rights and carry on as a support group, not for this pandemic, but for in future, because we recognise that there are vulnerable people that need support at all times. We've got ideas for our activities still. We ran competition for one in November for Remembrance Day. Got people to paint stones and leave them up at the memorial. That went very well. And we just had an idea of writing essays and stories and getting them published in publication.
Right.
And giving prizes out for that. So we've got, lots of other things planned ahead. So people know we're still going to be here and still doing things.
Brilliant. Well, that's good to know and good to hear. Right, that's it. Right, I'm going to stop recording now. So I'm going to say goodbye to anybody who's watching this. If you need help, you've got the telephone number. And if you want to help in terms of volunteering, you've got the telephone number. And if you'd like to donate or give some money, then you have the telephone number and go to that telephone number first in the first instance. That's brilliant. Thanks very much for watching and goodbye.